Hello, trustees of the Canning Trust. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to send you this video message. And I'm very sorry that I'm not on a Zoom call with you today. As I hope Richard has explained, I'm actually in Ghana on the business of Turbo Ghana. So if I may, I'll just briefly introduce Turbo Ghana. We are a micro charity. We're a small charity based in the UK, and our mission is uh, to relieve poverty in Ghana in rural communities. They're mostly farming communities, and they have very poor people living there. And I want to just tell you, if I may, a little bit about some of the projects we are currently engaged in, because if you are kind enough to donate funding to us, that's how we will use your money on our current projects. The first one I'm just going to mention to you now is a project that we are currently doing, which is building toilets. So we're currently building 200 toilets, 100 of them in one village and another 100 in another village. And this is work in progress as I speak. The first part of building that toilet is to make a hole and line it with concrete. And then the second part is to put this base on top of it with a smaller hole there, as you can see, which is where you actually go to the toilet. And as I mentioned, that's what we're in the middle of. Those photos were just taken a couple of months ago. And then after you've built the hole and covered it with the base, as I explained, then you build this kind of small room on top. And I want to just kind of draw your attention to what a life-changing experience that is for people who have lived in villages and have never had a toilet and have had to do their business in the bush. And I think especially for women, that's just quite unimaginable for us. I mean, I actually have, when I've been traveling in Ghana, had to do that kind of thing. And as you can imagine, it's not at all pleasant, even just to do it once or twice. To have that as your kind of daily experience is horrible. And I think that building toilets for families in this way is a life-changing thing to do. By the way, one thing that you might notice on our website, we started off saying that in one of the villages we were going to build a public toilet, which would mean a kind of shared facility for the whole village. But on further discussion with the community and on looking at other similar projects that have been done in that region, that just doesn't work because people don't take care of it. I mean, it's just like in the UK, you know, a public toilet is not something that anybody feels ownership of. So our model now, as I mentioned there, is to build these single toilets for a family. It's built typically within a few meters of their house, and it lasts about 20 years. And then, you know, at some point it's full and you have to just kind of fill it up with soil and rebuild it somewhere else. But I think 20 years is a very good length of time. The second project that I just want to mention to you in this short video is our apprenticeship scheme. Let me just show you a little bit about that. So since last April, we've had 9 apprentices, and here you see 3 of them. The woman standing up actually is our apprenticeship coordinator, so she sends me reports every month. The way it works is that I directly pay the stipend to the apprentices. It's £40 per month that I pay them. It's obviously very little by our standards here in the UK, but it's a very popular scheme. And Vivian, who's standing there, sends me a report every month. The woman in red there, in the middle one of the 3 that are sitting down, she's our first graduate. And the reason she was able to graduate before the expected 3-year period, because these are 3-year apprenticeships, is she had previously done 2 years and had had to stop for financial reasons. So she did another 9 months or a year with us, and her trainer, she's working in this shop, which you can see there, as a seamstress. And the woman who owns the shop, who's also Letitia's trainer, Letitia is the apprentice in red, is so impressed with her work and says that Letitia has taught her, the trainer, how to sew men's clothes. And that's been a new business opportunity for their shop, because until then they were just doing women's clothes. Let me just show you another apprentice. That's Emmanuel. He's one of our 9, so we currently have 9. He's an electrician. He's putting some ducting there, I think, for some light switches or something on this building that's just being built. And is the next one? Oh, yes. Well, I wanted to just mention now, while I'm in Ghana, we're going to be interviewing. We have had 94 applications for 9 places, because we're going to expand our apprenticeship scheme by doubling its size. We're currently 9 apprentices. We're going to get 9 more starting in December or January. And I'm currently interviewing at the time that you will be watching this video, or maybe just a few days before you watch it, because I think your meeting is the 9th of December. So on the 4th of December, I will be interviewing 20 of the 94 people that have applied to us, with the view to appoint about 9 of them. So unfortunately, it's very, very oversubscribed, our apprenticeship scheme. And I think it's a very good thing. What it does, I think, in terms of the community that we are serving is 2 things. First of all, it gives young people an opportunity, because that's what I mostly notice when I'm in Ghana. I go to Ghana twice per year. Young people just have nothing to do. I mean, it's just a terrible shame. They just literally have nothing to do. And I'm now in sort of WhatsApp communication with a lot of young people, because people of all ages, because people ask me for my phone number and so on, and I normally give it, and people send me WhatsApps. And when I ask people what they're doing today, they say, oh, nothing. Because there is nothing to do, because there are no jobs. So I think our apprenticeship scheme is first of all addressing that, and giving those people a skill which they can then use, and which is going to change their lives. Because this woman, Letitia, for example, is now going to be able to do her own dressmaking as a business. Emmanuel, when he graduates, will be an electrician and have his own business doing that. And it's life-changing for those 2, and for the 9 that we have, and for the further 9 that we hope to be appointing in the next few days. That's the first thing. It gives youth an opportunity. And the second thing is it brings money into an impoverished community, which I think is a very good thing. I think I had one more thing I wanted to show you. Maybe it's this one here. Yes, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about costing. So an apprentice to us costs a total of about £2,000, because they are 3-year apprenticeships, so it's 36 months, and we pay them £40 per month. So I've split it here as £35, but we actually pay them the £40. They pay their own water and electricity out of that. And then there are some other costs there. They have accommodation. We actually have 3 rooms currently in Nasuta, the town where those apprentices are living, and we directly pay for that accommodation. And the apprentices share, there's 2 or 3 per room. They're quite small rooms, and they have very basic facilities. There is a photo on our website of one of the rooms, but I'm not going to try to find it right now. Anyway, we normally buy just a few kind of basic things, like a mattress and some cooking tools and some other kind of life tools, and then whatever tools they need for their trade. So if for an electrician, for example, it would be the tools that electricians use, and in the case of these seamstresses, it's a sewing machine and some other tools. By the way, I want to just mention as well that we are getting a lot of hairdressers and electricians, but my personal preference is actually, we're getting a lot of hairdressers and tailors, and we currently have a lot. So my current policy, which I hope is going to go well when we do the interviews in the next week, because I'm making this video just at the end of November, is to try to get more people working in construction, electricians, motor repairers. There's a welder here. That's the kind of direction I want Turbo Ghana to move a little bit more into. I mean, we are guided by what the communities want, and I think that is the right thing for us to do. But where there are equally good candidates in different trades, I have a slight preference for the construction trades, because I think that is probably providing more durable skills to young people. So I mentioned that an apprenticeship costs us about £2,000 in total. I just wanted to, before I leave this video, mention that these toilets, where is the toilet? There it is. Costs us about £150 to build that. The community itself digs the hole. So the hole that you saw there is dug by the community, and the kind of non-skilled labor, like lining that, is also done by the community. But obviously this kind of thing and the building of the cubicle on top of it, that's got to be done by people who are already skilled in that. And the total cost to us, materials and labor, is about £150. We're currently building 200 of those. So that is coming in at £30,000. That is a very big project for us. And then the apprentices at £2,000 each. If we appoint 10 of them, that's going to be £20,000. So the total bill that I'm describing for the projects that we're currently engaged in is £50,000. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I'd be very happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I'm grateful for your attention. Goodbye.